In this lecture, we'll explore list methods. As a reminder, a method is a function that is inside an object. Here are the methods in type list. Ignoring the methods with underscores, we see append, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, and sort. Some of these methods modify the list, and some just return information. We will now give examples of using each of them. We will keep track of someone's favorite colors. Here's a prompt that we will use to gather the information. We are going to use a loop in order to gather all the person's favorite colors, but we need to start by asking them for their first. So far then, variable colors is assigned an empty list, and variable prompt is assigned enter another one of your favorite colors, type return to end. We ask the user to enter their first favorite color by calling function input and passing in variable prompt. Let's say the user types blue, so color now refers to blue. Variable colors still refers to an empty list. We are accumulating the information that the user types, so what we're going to do is use a while loop and say that while color is not the empty string, we will append the color to the colors variable. Colors.append color. Now, we have appended the color the user just typed, and so we need to get ready for the next iteration of the loop by asking the user for another color. So color is assigned input with argument prompt. We will now enter the colors yellow and brown. And let's say that that's our whole list of favorite colors, so we're going to follow the instructions and type return to end this while. When we examine the colors variable, we see that it contains strings blue, yellow, and brown. But we forgot some, so we are going to use method extend to extend the list of colors by sending in the list of colors that we forgot. We will call colors.extend and pass in the list with the strings hot pink and neon green. Now when we examine colors, we see blue, yellow, brown, hot pink, and neon green. As it turns out, we don't particularly like neon green, so let's call colors.pop to remove it. When we examine colors, we see the list blue, yellow, brown, and hot pink. Neon green is no longer there. One other point to make is that when you call colors.pop, not only does it remove the last item, but it also returns it. So you can use it in an assignment statement. A function that both returns information and does something to data, such as colors.pop, is a function that is said to have side effects. We are not enamored of brown either, so we will use pop with its optional argument in order to remove it. Brown is at index 2, so if I call colors.pop2, it will remove brown from the list as well as return it. Examining colors, we see we're down to blue, yellow, and hot pink. Colors.pop will remove the last item in the list, and colors.pop with an index will remove the item at the given index. Method remove takes an object to remove, not an index, and it will remove the first occurrence of that object from the list. Let's try to use it to remove black, which isn't in the list. And we see we get a value error. It won't work if we call remove with an item that is not in the list. So before calling a method or function that might raise an error, we want to check that that won't actually happen. We can count the number of occurrences of a particular value in a list, and if it ends up being greater than 0, in other words, if yellow exists in the list, then we can call remove. Examining colors, we end up with just blue and hot pink. Rather than counting, we could just say if yellow in colors, then colors.remove yellow. This is more standard than calling colors.count and counting the number of items. Just say if it's in there, then call colors.remove. Of course, yellow wasn't there, and so the if statement condition evaluated to false, and we didn't call colors.remove because we had previously removed it. We will now call colors.extend with arguments auburn, taupe, and magenta. But we get a type error. Extend takes exactly one argument, 3 given. The problem is that we need to put auburn, taupe, and magenta into a list because extend is expecting a list. Now, colors refers to the list with strings blue, hot pink, auburn, taupe, and magenta. We can sort it. Now, colors refers to the alphabetical list, auburn, blue, hot pink, magenta, and taupe. We can reverse this. We call colors.reverse, and now colors refers to taupe, magenta, hot pink, blue, and auburn. We're feeling a little guilty about brown. We will call colors.insert in order to put it back in the list where it belongs. We used arguments -2 and brown to say insert brown at index -2 into our colors. We have not replaced the item that was at index -2. Instead, blue and auburn have been shifted over to make room for brown. So insert does not get rid of anything that's in the list. It moves things over to make room. Last, let's get rid of hot pink because that's just a little bit bright for our aged selves. In order to remove it, we need to know its index. We can call the list index method in order to find this out. But again, index might crash if the item is not in the list. For example, colors.index of, remember we don't have neon green anymore, gives us a value error. Neon green is not in list. We want to prevent errors from happening, so here we will use an if statement, if hot pink in colors, to check to see whether we can call index without crashing. So if hot pink is in colors, we will then assign to variable where the result of calling colors.index hot pink, and then we can use that index where to call colors.pop to remove hot pink. And now we are left with taupe, magenta, brown, blue, and auburn.